Man United have a replacement for Rúben Amorim lined up, and the whispers are turning into shouts. A two-way battle is kicking off for Bernardo Silva. So what's his next move? Bayern Munich are set to snatch Marc Guehi from right under Liverpool's noses. And it looks like Marc-André Ter Stegen has finally decided to quit Barcelona. We're covering all that and more in today's video. Guys, let's try and hit 350 thumbs up on this one. Your support helps us make even better content for you. Let's get right into the latest transfer gossip. Bayern Munich have officially jumped into the race for one of the hottest defenders in the Premier League, Crystal Palace skipper Marc Guehi. According to Sky Germany, the German Giants are keeping a very close eye on his contract, which runs out next summer. And get this, Bayern's sporting director Max Eberl is personally a massive fan of the Englishman. For the German champs, this could be a brilliant chance to snap up a top-class defender for nothing. The story with Guehi is a bit of a messy one. This summer, he was literally a step away from joining Liverpool. The deal only fell apart because Palace couldn't find a replacement at the death and pulled the plug on the transfer. Arne Slot saw him as the perfect fit for his backline. Cool with the ball, a beast in the air, and a real leader. But it all went sideways, and now the Reds' problems at the back are still there. So now, Bayern are in the mix. And when you hear that Guehi himself, according to that same report, is dreaming of a move to Real Madrid, you know the competition is going to be insane. Oh, and let's throw Barcelona into the ring too, because they're showing concrete interest. Basically, we've got an all-out auction on our hands. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace are fighting tooth and nail to keep their captain. Oliver Glasner is still building his defense around Guehi and is hoping to convince him to sign a new deal. But let's be real, what do you do when the biggest clubs in Europe are sniffing around and your best player can walk away for free in a year? The Eagles are in a very tough spot. Guehi moved to Palace from Chelsea back in 2021 for 23.3 million euros. Since then, he's played 139 games in the Prem, bagged 7 goals and got 5 assists. Pretty decent stats for a center half. In that time, he's become a proper leader, and everyone knows he's one of the most solid and reliable defenders around. For Liverpool, there's still a glimmer of hope. If they can get him on a pre-contract in January, it would be a perfect bit of business, especially with Virgil van Dijk not getting any younger, and Ibrahima Konate still not signing a new deal. But if Bayern or Real make their move first, Guehi's ambitions might just lead him somewhere else entirely. Right now, it looks like this. Palace want to keep him, Liverpool need to hurry up, Bayern are ready to hijack any deal, Barça are in the conversation, and Guehi himself is thinking about Real Madrid. The closer we get to January, the more this transfer story is going to heat up. Bernardo Silva is the heart and soul of Man City, the guy who connects the back line to the attack and pops up to win games when it matters most. But as vital as he is, his future is a massive question mark. He's got a deal until 2026, but after that, who knows? According to Caught Offside, Barcelona and Juventus are both sniffing around. For Juve, the big problem is his wages. 300 grand a week is just too steep for them. Barça, though, are playing it differently. And you know what? I get it from Juve's side. £300,000 a week is serious money. You know what's not serious? Watching my videos and not hitting that subscribe button when it costs you absolutely nothing. Let's be real. Me asking you to subscribe and ring that bell is the best transfer deal of your life. No wage demands, no agent fees, just a simple click. Their sporting director, Deco, has already been in touch with Silva's people and thinks he's the key man for Hansi Flick's new project. The source even said, Deco sees Silva's technical range as a perfect match for Flick's system. Juventus' situation is both easier and trickier. They're ready to make Silva the main man, but the deal only happens if he takes a pay cut. One source was straight up about it. The deal will only work if the player agrees to a wage reduction. And then Saudi Arabia throws its hat in the ring. Al Ahly, Al Qadsiya, and Al Nasser are apparently lining up offers that would blow the European clubs out of the water. We're talking £500,000 a week, plus a massive signing-on bonus. Al Nasser are even calling Silva the biggest signing of the post-Ronaldo era. That's a whole other level of temptation. It's a life-changing financial move, a chance to be the face of an entire league. Through all of this, City are playing it strangely cool. The club knows what's going on but isn't rushing to offer him a new deal. For a player who gives Pep such incredible tactical freedom, playing in midfield, out wide, wherever, without breaking the system, that silence is pretty telling. So, Bernardo basically has 3 roads ahead. Sign a new deal with City and keep chasing trophies. Move to Barcelona and slot into a system that's practically made for him. Head to Juventus and become the star of the show. Or he could take the Saudi money, where the cash and status would be insane, but he'd fall off the European radar. Caught offside, nailed it. Silva has to make a decision on his future. And it's not just about the money. Barça is about legacy. Juve is about being the main man, and Saudi Arabia is about a total life change. As for City, it's about stability and a packed trophy cabinet. City fans think it's way too early to lose him. He's in his prime, he's a rock. But at the end of the day, Bernardo has earned the right to write the final chapter himself. The only question is which story he picks. While things are heating up in the Prem, the storm clouds are circling over Manchester United yet again. The team's all over the place, and the heat is seriously on the manager, Rúben Amorim. And, according to Spanish source Fichajes, United are quietly eyeing up a new plan. Aston Villa's gaffer, Unai Emery, is back on their radar. Let's be real, it starts with the obvious. United's numbers and the way they're playing are just not good enough. Win, lose, win again. There's no stability whatsoever, and the fans are fed up. On top of that, the word is that Amorim has to get them into Europe. And if he fails, he could be shown the door. Rúben gets it. His own words say it all. I'll keep giving my all for this project, but I know patience is not unlimited at this club. And that's where Emery comes in. Fichajes reckons United see him as the perfect man for a complete reset. They need someone with experience, someone who can get a grip on a messy project and sort out a squad with a dodgy atmosphere, and stars who've lost their spark. And you can't argue with that. Emery is exactly that guy. Since he walked into Aston Villa in 2022, the club's been on a constant upward curve. Into Europe 3 times, the Champions League quarters in 24 out of 25, and always finishing in the top half. They haven't dropped below 7th with him. Villa Park has basically made Emery their main man. He's not just the coach, he's the face of their success. Yeah, he signed a new 5-year deal back in May 2024, but let's be honest, how do you say no when Manchester United are on the phone? Sources close to Emery say he's loyal to Villa, but he'd be flattered by the interest from Old Trafford and sees it as one of the ultimate challenges in football. And he's right, United is one of the biggest and toughest gigs going. The pressure, the hype, the media circus, you're being watched 24/7. But Emery seems like the kind of manager who feeds off that pressure instead of cracking. His knack for bringing in discipline, getting the job done, and changing things up on the fly is exactly what United are crying out for. Because of all this, the club knows time is running out. Things are shaky, and the board won't wait around forever. They know the Amorim project isn't working, and are secretly looking at Emery as Plan B. Pretty much, this could all come to a head in the next few months. Amorim's in charge for now, but if the results don't get better, you can totally see a shakeup at United this winter or in the summer. A new manager and another shot at building something that actually lasts. The big question though, does Emery really want to jump back into the fire when he's built such a solid thing at Villa? Or is the call of Old Trafford just too big to ignore? Erik ten Hag could soon find himself in familiar surroundings, back in Amsterdam. According to TalkSport, Ajax are considering a move to bring the Dutch manager back, which seems entirely logical given the club's current issues. The team is currently managed by John Heitinga, but the board in Amsterdam are reportedly unimpressed with his work. 3rd place in the league and 2 consecutive Champions League defeats is clearly not what's expected of Ajax. For Ten Hag, the Bayer Leverkusen chapter was particularly painful. He was sacked after just 3 matches, a decision that is difficult to explain from a footballing perspective. Moreover, in his statement at the time, the manager himself said it wasn't about results. The management's decision to relieve me of my duties came as a complete surprise. Sacking a manager after just 2 league games is unprecedented. This summer, many key players who were crucial to past success left the team. Building a new, cohesive squad is a meticulous process that requires time and trust. A new manager deserves the space to implement his vision, set standards, shape the squad, and put his stamp on the style of play. I started this job with full confidence and energy, but unfortunately, the management was unwilling to give me the necessary time and trust, and that is deeply disappointing. I feel this relationship was never based on mutual trust, Ten Hag stated. In essence, Leverkusen didn't even try to wait it out. They quickly decided to replace him with Kasper Hjulmand, and honestly, it's far from certain that this decision will benefit the club. In contrast, a return to Ajax looks logical. It was there that Ten Hag proved he can build a project from scratch and get results. His work in Amsterdam elevated him to the top level and opened the door to Manchester United. Yes, not everything worked out for him in England, but the experience he gained there only makes him stronger. And if Ajax do decide to entrust the team to Eric again, he will firstly definitely get more time to rebuild than he did at Leverkusen, and secondly, the fans would surely give him a warm welcome. After all, it was under him that the club played its most recognizable and bold football in recent years. So, the Ajax and Ten Hag option is a story of a second attempt, and there's no guarantee it won't be more successful than the first. He has faced enough adversity in his career to prove one thing: it's far too early to write him off. Ter Stegen has a big problem on his hands. Word from Diario Sport is that 3 Premier League clubs are eyeing up the Barça keeper: Man United, Newcastle, and Spurs. So, here's the deal. The German is coming back from a back injury, should be fit by late November and ready for action in January. But here's the kicker: he's probably not going to get a game. Why's that? Because young Joan Garcia was absolutely brilliant at the start of the season, and he's the one Barça are putting their faith in now. The twist is Garcia is also injured after a knee op, but he's due back at pretty much the same time as Ter Stegen. So you see, the 33-year-old German just doesn't have a spot in the team. Lads, before we go on, make sure you react to the video. It's a massive help for the channel. Smash that thumbs up or down right now would be perfect. And drop a comment, we'd really appreciate it. And think about it, the World Cup is coming up next summer. Ter Stegen needs minutes on the pitch to be Germany's #1. Sitting on the bench is not in his plans, so he's seriously looking at a move away, either a loan or a permanent deal. And this is with 2.5 years still left on his Barça contract from January. So what's the gossip? Newcastle, Spurs, and Man United have already been in touch with the club about a potential transfer. Monaco were keen too, but back in the summer, the German told them straight he wanted to stay in Barcelona. Things are different now though. Most clubs would look at a loan with an option to buy. It makes sense. You get a top keeper who could walk into any top European team, see how he is after the injury, then decide if you want to keep him. It's a cracking deal for all sides. But the key thing is this: Barça will only let him go if Ter Stegen himself asks to leave. That hasn't happened yet. The German is focused on his comeback and still plans to fight for his spot, even if he's clearly not first choice anymore. Barça's got its own headaches as well. When the window opens, they have to register players under La Liga's strict 1-to-1 financial rule. They could end up with 3 goalies on the books, which is just not realistic. The club, to their credit, are being sound about it. They'll respect his decision and will help him move if he wants to go and play. If he stays, he'll have the captain's armband, but not much time on the pitch. This summer, the World Cup wasn't his priority, but now he has a choice to make. Germany needs a starting keeper who's match fit, not a sub from Barça. And because of this, his camp has already heard from interested clubs. So he's got 2 real options: leave in January for game time, or wait till summer and figure it all out then. The next few months are massive, and everyone wants to sort this out calmly so he can make the right call for his career.